What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got a rules roundup from the lovely folks over at the Transformers trading card game. Yeah, I know we only had the FAQ very recently. I'm sorry, I don't control the timing, I just explain the rulings. So let's get rolling, shall we? So starting off then, how does Soundblaster and similar cards work when interacting with a character who is both an Autobot and a Decepticon? Remember, now that we got Titan Masters, we can have someone like Skull Smasher, who is very much a Decepticon body, but Skull Smasher can have Clobber, very much an Autobot head. Now, Soundblaster, of course, is the upgrade that reads, when the upgraded character attacks an enemy from a different faction, they get +2 attack until end of battle. What's a different faction? Different faction means does not share a faction identity, so if you were an Autobot and a Decepticon, you would have to be attacking somebody who was neither, like a mercenary. Now let's say you pop a Decepticon head on Cerebros, and then you play Scoundrel's Blaster on Fort Maximus. Now, the interesting thing here, of course, is that Scoundrel's Blaster only works when you are a Decepticon. It can only be put onto Decepticons. And the only Decepticon you've got here is the Decepticon head. Now, we know that his star count will count towards the 25 stars. Can you have Scoundrel's Blaster? No. You see, the Decepticon head only comes out when you deploy Cerebros. Cerebros only comes out when Fortress Maximus goes down. So until Fortress Maximus goes down, there is no Decepticon, and you cannot play Scoundrel's Blaster. What if you've got a Decepticon leader body with an Autobot head? Can you equip Matrix of Leadership? Of course, Matrix of Leadership being the upgrade utility, which can only be put onto Autobots. Yes. Yes, you can. And the way they put it here is, card requirements are inclusive, therefore you are an Autobot and a leader, so you're good to go. It's not, oh, you're also a Decepticon. No. We just look to see, are you an Autobot? And the answer is yes. Yes, you are. Okay. Can a card target something even if it won't have an effect? So let's take unconventional flying object as an example here. You flip one of your spaceships to bot mode and then flip it back to alt mode. Well, what if you don't have a bot mode? I.e., if you've only got a body mode, remember body and bot mode are not the same. The answer is, and we've known this for a while, cards do as much as they can. You can play it even if you don't have a spaceship, and it will put the action in your scrap pile. Nice. Now there are some exceptions. I showed you Scoundrel's Blaster a moment ago that literally reads, put on Decepticons only, so you could not play that if there were no Decepticons on the field, but generally, you're good to go. You do as much as you can. So you go, right, I'm going to try and flip this now. Let's do this. I've got a spaceship. Oh, that spaceship has no bot mode. So it just goes into your scrap pile. And you're done. Now, what happens in regards to the timing of heads activating and a trigger causing the body to be KO'd? So for argument's sake, let's take Quake. Quake came around in Wave 5, and in body mode, when this or another character is KO'd, you do 1 damage to each other character, yours and your opponent's. Okay. Does Quake damage his own head when he gets KO'd? Or let's say you've got Octone taking down a body. Now Octone's got one of those bounty skills. When you KO something, you then get to do 2 damage to an enemy. So the question for both of these is the head in play and ready to be targeted? Well, a head's deploy ability is a triggered ability, and the active player may order simultaneous triggers however they wish. If the player controlling Quake is the active player, they may order Quake's damage trigger and Quake's head deploy trigger such that Quake's damage ability resolves first, and then the head second, which you will want to do, otherwise your head will be taking the damage. Similarly, if Octone's controller is the active player, they can order the triggers so that Octone KOs a body, and then uses the bounty ability to KO the head. Put simply, yes, it works, and yes, they just got better. So let's take a card like Emergency Defense Field. It's got a trigger when it battles. Emergency Defense Field specifically, if the upgraded character defends and would take an even amount of damage, instead it takes no damage. And when the upgraded character defends and takes no attack damage, you then scrap the card. Okay, what if it gets played after the attacker is declared? Now, the answer is the trigger for all when this attack defense battles is at the same time and happens only once as the attacker is declared and tapped. If you use a when this battles trigger on a character to then play a when this battles upgrade, the upgrade won't trigger, it is too late. So if there's a skill that lets you attach this as you start battling, it is too late at that stage because it's already started defending. Sorry. Now just a quick update about the Turbo format. Remember, Turbo is where you take 2 packs and you combine them into a deck that you then go and have a bit of a play with. What happens in terms of a body and a head? Are they 1 or 2 characters? 1. And how should stratagems be treated? Like a regular card. If you can play it, do. And it does count as a star. Sorry. Of course, with Turbo, you kind of have to play them, so, you've just lost a star. Gutted. Now, one of the coolest rulings from this particular one is Crystal of Power, as it pertains to Soundblaster. Now, Crystal of Power is a phenomenal card, plus 3 attack, plus 2 defense, but you scrap it after the battle. Now, Soundblaster comes in with a really nice skill, whereby when you attack in bot mode, you may play a black icon weapon from your scrap pile onto it. The question is, does it get scrapped if you attack Crystal of Power, which does have a black icon? No! Because like we saw a second ago, the timing here is when it battles. So you start the battle, nothing on there needs to be discarded, then you attach it, and it's too late at that stage for it to be scrapped at the end of battle. Yeah, sure, it'll be scrapped at the end of the next battle, but that means this awesome upgrade card gets used twice rather than once. That is a very, very good thing. Lose the initiative. Now, this is a secret action. It is revealed if an opponent's card would cause exactly one of their characters to untap, and instead, you untap one of your characters with the same number of stars or fewer. How does that work with combiners? If a combiner combines and untaps, let's say Volcanicus, always my go-to example, will lose the initiative cancel the untapping effect? No. Because combiners aren't untapping. They are entering the field untapped, and that is a different thing. It is as if you just played a new character in the middle of the game untapped. It is not untapping a tapped character, so losing initiative, unfortunately, if you're playing losing initiative, fortunately if you're not, will not work. Now, in terms of Fortress Maximus, we know we've got the free wide-ish character. Fortress Maximus turns into Cerebros, turns into character number 3. Okay. So, the second head, the head that is essentially on Cerebros when that is deployed, it counts towards the total stars for your team. Does it count towards Fortress Maximus's character star count? No. Because it's not part of Fortress Maximus. It is part of your team. It's not part of Fortress Maximus. It doesn't count towards a star count. On my starting team, one of my characters is Quake with a Flintlock. Can I sideboard in Fortress Maximus if I also put Flintlock on him? No. You cannot play Fortress Maximus without playing Cerebros, and you cannot play Cerebros without playing Fortress Maximus. You're only allowed to sideboard one character, though. Oh. Got it. Hey-ho. You could sideboard in Fortress Maximus, incidentally. You could put it in your sideboard. You would just never actually be able to swap it into your deck without Cerebros, which you wouldn't have unless you were already playing Fortress Maximus, and then you wouldn't be allowed to sideboard it in because that would be two of the same character. Sorry. Optimus Prime Legendary Warrior over in body mode here. We've got a skill that when you attack, you repair 1 damage from one of your characters, and if you have fewer characters on the battlefield than your opponent, you repair 1 more damage from that same character. Okay. But what if you choose to repair a character that is upgraded with Toolbox? How does that work? Well, Toolbox, as a quick little reminder, if damage would be repaired, you repair that much damage plus 1. So you repair 4. First, you repair using Optimus Prime and Toolbox goes, oh wait, make it 2. And then you repair a second with Optimus Prime and Toolbox goes, oh wait, no, make it 2. Every time you repair 1, Toolbox turns it into 2. Might be a combo to keep your eye on. Now, Sky Shadow is a very interesting card. A 2-character combiner that only combines using a stratagem and actually brings in a head from outside the game when you do so. You end up combining when one of them, the tank or the plane, is KO'd, and you've got Ominous outside the game. Okay. What if they both get KO'd at the same time? No. What does that happen? If all your characters are KO'd and there is no other card text saying otherwise, like a head's deployability, you lose. You've got no characters, you lose. And there is nothing in the Sky Shadow Sync stratagem that says otherwise, that says you will be able to save it. So if they're your last 2 characters and they both get KO'd at the same time, you lose the game. Got it. If I attack one part of Sky Shadow, the tank or the plane, and a triggered ability KOs that part before flipping cards, meaning that Sky Shadow combines, does the attack end, or does the attack continue against the newly combined Sky Shadow? The attack continues. Oh. Go into combiner mode, one-way operation. It will be untapped, which is nice, but it will take the attack. Sorry. And finally, we've got Skytread. Now, Skytread again has a tank and a plane. And if you've got one on the battlefield or KO area and the other gets KO'd, you've got a revenge skill that combines them together. Yay! When you combine them together, you put the cards from your hand face down under Raider Skytread. Are they placed randomized or in a specific order? And the answer is they are face down. Face down is what the game uses to hide the information, which means they are placed under Skytread in a randomized manner. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the new FAQ. That is everything you need to know. Fun times, eh? Especially that Crystal of Power Soundblaster ruling. That's a good one, ladies and gentlemen. Although there are a few in here which are really, really nice. But now it's over to you guys. I want to know what you think about this. I want to know your reaction. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts. Me nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wossy. That's where we talk Transformers and a whole bunch of other games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, all kinds of fun stuff. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.